A warm hello to all our dear participants. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to you today Professor Shripad Deo. Sir is presently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. Sir has a BE degree in Mechanical Engineering from RTMNU Nagpur and ME in Manufacturing Systems Engineering, BITS Pilani, Rajasthan. His expertise is in machine design and production engineering. With a total teaching experience of 16 years, Sir is also an expert in aptitude and reasoning ability required for campus placement as well as competitive exams. For over the last 15 years, he has been a trainer for aptitude in CAT, CRT, Bank PO, Staff Selection Commission exams, Common Law Admission Test, and GATE. He has also published a book on quantitative aptitude. His book is an asset for the aspirants who wish to succeed in a single attempt in campus placement, management entrance exam, as well as other competitive exams. Sir is a life member of ISTE, and to his credit, he has several papers in national and international conferences. Professor Deo is a passionate teacher and a mentor to aspirants for competitive exams. I wish all of you a happy learning. Thank you.
Welcome, dear students, to this session on preparation for campus placement and competitive exams. Myself, Professor Shripad Deo from Department of Mechanical Engineering, St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. Also, I am author of the book on quantitative aptitude by Allied Publishers Private Limited, as well as I am training students for different competitive exams and campus recruitment from last 15 years. In my session, I am going to highlight you about what preparation exactly is needed for on-campus placement, off-campus placement and higher studies. Well, if it is off-campus placement and higher studies, you need to appear for the competitive exam. Already our principal, Dr. Surendra Goel sir, is taking a course on Foundation of Aptitude. That's a very good course, and I feel as aptitude trainer that if your foundation in aptitude is strong, then your grasping power will be very good to solve difficult level of questions in any competitive exam. Starting with on-campus placement. When any company comes to your campus for placement, what is the first step? The company put up something called as eligibility criteria. 10th you should have this much percent, 12th you should have this much percent, and throughout your semester you should have this much percent of CGPA. Suppose 500 students from your campus are eligible for that company. Now the question is, can the company really interview all 500 candidates who are eligible? Practically not. Then what the company do? How they filter out the students? How they eliminate the students? They conduct a test known as online test. Suppose out of 500 students who were eligible, 50 students passed the online test and 450 are eliminated out. What further round they go with? They need to appear for group discussion. The successful students of group discussion are further interviewed by personal interview or technical interview or might be both, and if you clear all these stages, you are finally selected in that company. Now, all companies, does it follow all these stages? Depend upon that company itself, but these are the general steps that most of the companies follow in campus placement. Some of the company may eliminate one or two stages, or some of the company may still add one or two stages in this recruitment process. Now, out of the entire process, starting from eligibility criteria to final selection, which is the bottleneck, most critical step, where maximum students are eliminated? Yes, it is nothing but online test. What exactly is asked in online test in campus recruitment? The online test may be divided into two sections, that is technical and aptitude. Sometimes only aptitude and sometimes only technical and sometimes might be both. Now technical depends upon the branch in which you are doing the graduation. It is branch specific or it can be company specific. For example, if it is a company like Tata Consultancy Services, National Qualified Test, they may ask you technical questions related to programming and coding. Let us talk about what is asked in the aptitude. The aptitude is mainly divided into three sections as quantitative ability, reasoning ability and verbal ability. Now what comes in these sections we will see further. Talking about the test paper pattern of some of the blue chip companies, I will just highlight few companies. I cannot highlight every company, but some good blue chip companies which are coming to the campus of or most of the good reputed engineering colleges. I will just highlight. Starting with HCL Infosystem. What HCL Infosystem asks in their online test? They talk about aptitude, logical, English means verbal ability, technical and general knowledge questions. Emphasis, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and verbal ability. Accenture, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and verbal ability. TCS NQT, National Qualified Test, quantitative aptitude, coding and programming proficiency as well as English means verbal ability. Infosys, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and verbal ability. So what we see from this, only 5 companies I have here listed and what they ask in online test I have mentioned here. So what is common here? Everywhere what is common is aptitude. Why this company focus on aptitude? What aptitude checks within a candidate? These qualities are tested. Number 1, your skill and level of intelligence. Number 2, how fast you can think. Number 3, in how many directions you can think, that is tested in mental ability and reasoning questions. Number 4, your decision taking capacity, that is again in reasoning questions. And how fast you can do the numerical calculations, because all of you know calculator is not allowed in this test. Now let us understand exactly what topics you need to prepare in quantitative ability section. I will list out the topics here. If these topics are thoroughly prepared from your side, I feel that you can crack any competitive exam. Numbers. Numbers is the basic foundation of mathematics. So numbers should be done very thoroughly. Simple equation, also called as linear equations. The problem of simple equations are very common and asked in most of the exams. Ratio and variation, average problems, mixture and alligation problems, time and work, time and distance. Both time and work and time and distance are very significant topic, because rarely you will find an aptitude test without a question of time and work or speed time distance. Geometry and mensuration. Percentage. Percentage is the backbone of most of the topic. Without understanding percentage, you cannot go ahead with the questions of profit and loss. You cannot solve the questions of data interpretation. Also, it will be difficult for you to go through a topic like simple interest, compound interest. So, percentage is the backbone of all these topics. Then, profit and loss, permutation combination, probability, clocks, calendars, progression, that is arithmetic progression, geometric progression and harmonic progression, and finally data interpretation. So these 16 topics of quantitative ability I feel are very important, and you should thoroughly prepare this. Now what comes in reasoning ability? Here are the list of the topics: numbers and letter series, analogy and classification, coding decoding, blood relation, direction sense, cubes, Venn diagram, problems on sitting arrangement, that is linear sitting arrangement, circular sitting arrangement, etc., logical thinking and data sufficiency. So these 10 topics of reasoning ability you should prepare thoroughly. What comes in verbal ability? That is English. Synonym and antonym, sentence formation, sentence correction, sentence completion, and reading comprehension. So 6 topics I feel are very, very important from verbal ability section. So quantitative ability 16 topics, reasoning ability 10 topics, and verbal ability 6 topics. So in all, if you add this 16 plus 10, 26 plus 6, that is 32 topics you need to prepare very thoroughly. I am sure that if these 32 topics are thoroughly prepared, you can crack any competitive exam and you can crack any online test of any company where aptitude is asked. Let us summarize what we have seen in this session. Stages of recruitment in on-campus placement. Focus on online test is given, that I have specifically highlighted by showing 5 companies what they ask. What are the sections of aptitude? What comes in quantitative ability? What comes in reasoning ability? And what comes in verbal ability? Online test pattern of these companies are also explained. Thank you for this first part of the session. In the next part, I am going to talk about the study material to refer and some sample questions of different company and solving techniques. Also, I will share my experience about what mistakes students do and you should avoid it to get success in the exam. Thank you.